Alright, yo, it's your boy Yoshikidneo, and we're back in the Kingdoms of Boridil. But today is like just kind of an RP session with my boy Gerald, because his main character Zuka, as we know if you've been watching or keeping up with the story at all, has had his soul sucked out of his body, and it's currently in a dagger in the possession of... I don't really want to say what she is, just in case anyone watches this, but Innis
Okay,
Crown.
I'm back.
So today we're going to go through what's going
private
on.
Chat.
Yeah, we are. So to set the scene of what we're doing today, the last thing you remember as Zuka is you were in the battle for the right for the throne of Cyrodiil, essentially. And you had been given the opportunity to either save your family or save your country by Sergorius. And what he wanted you to do was to kill Grom, who is the orcish prince during the battle when no bloodshed was meant to be spilt. So he gave you this special dagger. Oh, I don't know where Gerald just went.
There we go. My bad.
No, you're good. So he gave you this special dagger that was meant to essentially make it look... Well, you don't know exactly what it was meant to do, but he said that he wanted you to stab Grom with it. So, when the time came where you guys had reigned victorious in your fight against the orcs, you went up and were about to carry out what Sergorius had meant for you to do. And you pulled out the dagger and you started to laugh, and then you stabbed yourself with it. And as you did, you felt the sort of weird sensation as you stabbed the dagger through your chest. You kind of look around and your vision begins to tunnel, and then you can actually feel yourself sort of falling back into this like dark abyss before the light finally fades, and you look around and you can see your body. You can see your arms, you can see your legs, you can see your torso, your trunk, and you're in this perpetual state of falling, and it's completely black. After a few moments of this, you finally get some sort of footing, and you look around, and again, it's all black. There's this sort of like light fog on the ground, and it seems as if this is it. You don't know what this is, but your best bet is that this is inside the dagger. After a few moments of you kind of walking around and looking to see if there's any way out, you continue to just walk for who knows how long. You kind of lost track of time. You hear a voice. Ah, Zuka. Is that you, or should I call you Prince Rakim?
Do I see where this is coming from?
You look around and you don't see anything, and then it calls out to you again. I can see that you're quite uneasy. Let me make it a little easier for you. And you can hear footsteps, almost as if they're stepping in a light puddle of some sort, coming from a direction. You look over there and you see this green skin, an orc walking towards you, and it's actually the chieftain that you know of the orcs. This is Grodgal the Brute.
Chieftain of the orcs.
Yep.
Is this Grom's dad?
Correct.
Okay. And I know this.
Correct.
Okay.
So he comes up, and he comes up closer to you, and he kind of takes a seat, and go ahead, have a seat. We have quite a bit to talk about, you and I.
I don't have any of my like. Well, since this is like an imaginary plane, I guess. Like, what am I wearing? Just my clothes? Do I have
Yeah,
like
you're
gear
wearing
on
your
me?
normal clothes. You don't have any like weaponry or any
Okay,
precious materials or any, like you literally just have your clothes.
just what I had on. Okay.
Correct.
Um. I mean, very hesitantly, I guess walk towards him a little bit and ask where where are we?
Well, first things first. There's no need to be afraid of me. In this current state, there is no way for either of us to die, at least by each other's hands. So you're quite safe. But to answer your question further, that dagger that you were given, you're currently inside of that, as am I.
Oh, so this isn't it. So
No,
are we are we dead?
not at all, actually. Well, at least you're not. As you just got here, your body should still be living, breathing. But mine, I feel, is probably long past.
Hmm.
So, you still have a chance, whereas I believe I'll probably be stuck here for eternity. I've been watching you since you've been carrying this dagger, Zuka. I can see the conflicted looks on your face. And I'll be honest, after what you were tasked to do, I could have sworn that you were going to probably take my son's soul and trap him in here with me. You've surprised me.
I surprised myself. I thought I was actually gonna go through with it.
Well, unfortunately for you, your friends didn't make it easier, for it seems that Segorius was quite content with your soul being trapped in here instead of Grom's. But that group of yours has caused quite a bit of chaos. Here,
What do you mean?
he starts to stand up and approach you. Let me let me show you how to peer outside of this dagger. He takes his fingers and he sort of swipes them across your eyes, and all of a sudden you can sort of see out that blackness. You see, it's almost as if you're looking outside of a jar. It's like very, at some portions of it, it's like very fish-eyed, like a fisheye lens. Others, it's
Hmm.
really clear. Others, it's kind of murky, where, maybe there's like a scuffed up fingerprint or something. But you watch, as your body falls with the dagger in your chest, and you kind of just slump there. And as that's happening, Mirrodin comes up and he grabs the dagger and he looks around and then he vanishes. You then see Lacan come up and sort of get your body. You watch as they're all speaking, and then you notice Grodgal jump into the arena and transform into Segorius. At which point he kind of looks at you and goes, "That was my favorite part, although I do hate that demon. But imagine if I had wings and could fly." You then see Segorius speaking to your group, and without anybody being able to give him what he wants, you see a fireball come through and explode, knocking you and your friends out, and then it goes black. It seems that your friends muddled in Segorius's plans, and from this point on, I can only assume that the worst is happening to your empire.
Oh man. So, I get up and I start pacing back and forth, and it's like, no, 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 that's not what was supposed to happen. I can't believe they did that.
Yes, it would seem that unfortunately your friends had other ideas of what that dagger could do. And I'll be honest, you were not very upfront with them, so perhaps
Yeah.
they didn't trust you enough to allow you to go through with what you were doing. And who knows, maybe this was the right call. Maybe Sigorius getting his hand on that dagger, having your soul and mine, is bad news. But there's really no way to tell. There's no such thing as going back in time to fix the actions, at least not that I'm aware of.
Uh,
But it is curious, what made you think that taking your own soul would guarantee the lives of your people and of Grom?
well, my thinking of it. Well, as you know, Sagoris is always one step ahead. So I thought I would play him in his own, I guess, game. So this was honestly my way to atone for what my people have done,
Mm,
and maybe to restore restore some type of faith with your tribe,
very
so we could
interesting.
at least come together on some means. I figured if we were together, we would be a bit stronger. I don't know.
That's something that I am taking a liking to you, Rakim. That's something I don't believe your father has ever tried to do differently, and a reason why I do believe that you are meant to be the king of Cyrodiil.
Hmm.
Go ahead and have a seat. I wish to speak with you on something. If anyone's got a chance of getting out of this dagger, I believe it would be you. And I need to make sure you have this information at hand before you leave me.
Hmm. Um. Well, knowing that there's nowhere to go, uh, I sit down.
You may be wondering, why did the orcs go ahead and decide to bring a demon lord to this material plane? And I have a few answers for that for you, and this may be helpful in determining what course of action to take after this. But, essentially what had happened, this demon lord Sigorius was not my
Hmm.
idea. You remember Zem, correct? Or Zam, I named her Zam.
That's
The
fine.
tactician of the orcs.
Yeah.
She's always had it out for your people. She's always thought to put orcish culture, orcish needs in front of that of the Luxodon. And she was able to do this quite cautiously without bringing any sort of attention to her. And, eh, being in her shoes, I can only assume that it's quite painful to watch your people suffer. But I don't believe that she had any ill intentions. Well, maybe she did. She brought a demon lord to us. Zam and the head shaman, they were working together to bring Sigorius to our people, hoping that this would open up the eyes of myself and of Prince Grom to see that we were not as weak as thought.
The shaman, the one working with my mother.
No, Gwina
Oh.
is ever true to her nature. She has always cared for the royal family, and she always will. She had no
Hmm.
part in this. The
Thank God.
shaman that I speak of is Al Ramal. And that's the shaman that had taken those orcs and put them underground when you guys were visiting the settlement, the one that was manipulating the sand. He's deemed the head shaman as of right now. You don't know him personally because he's always been in the orcish camps and stuff like that, but the way he was talking to you, he made it seem like he was part of a good guy, and he was actually he was blaming all of this on a different shaman.
Hmm.
Anyway, it didn't happen. It was all part of a coincidence, honestly. There was a infection going around that the shaman had thought came from the water that we were being supplied. So before anyone was to drink it, it had to be purified by boiling. And after doing this for a few days, the shaman ended up realizing that it changed the mood of the orcs. So he did some tests and found that elixir that your people had been pouring into the water supply, essentially domesticating the orcs to follow your will. This infuriated Al-Ramal, and he brought it to Zam and let her in on it because he knew how she felt about you, Luxodon. It was at this moment that Zam was fed up with the ways of the Luxodon, and she essentially pledged her life to the Orcish cause in taking down the Luxodon. And Al-Ramal just so happened to be researching these sort of dark traditions of the Orc clans. And that's when he found his hidden link to Sigorius. And Sigorius started plaguing his mind with dark promises. Power beyond anything that a normal shaman would be capable of. So Al-Ramal fed Zam the ingredients that she needed in order to bring Sigorius to the material plane. The one thing that she needed, though, was that of royal blood. So she went to Grom and had him essentially act as a scapegoat to try to lure you to the Tusculi so that they could use your blood. Unfortunately, it took too long for you to respond to King Amon's wishes, so they went ahead and, well, they decided they were going to use Grom's blood to bring Sigorius to. I, unfortunately, was unaware of most of these happenings until a few days before the final preparations of the ritual. People had started going missing in the Orcish tribes, and I was growing concerned. So I approached Zam and I approached Al-Ramal, which was probably foolish of me. They had told me that my son had agreed to bringing Sigorius to lead them into the battle against the Luxodon, and this was all against my will. So,
Grom?
Al-Ramal, yes,
Grom wanted a part of this?
correct.
Oh.
After learning about the elixir that your people were using to essentially keep the throne for themselves, Grom felt that this was unfair to the Orcish tribes, and felt that if I was not going to lead our people to attacking you, then Sigorius would. Under his banner, the Orcs would be empowered. They would be bolstered with confidence of taking the throne.
Here I am thinking that he was thinking he was good, or at least had some type of pure intentions.
He may have, in all honesty, looking at it, what your people are doing to mine is really no good. But there are other ways to go about it. And unfortunately, this right here shows me that Grom is not fit to be chieftain. But, as you see, I am in this dagger, and the reason is because Grom put me here.
Really?
They needed royal blood to bring Sigorius to this realm. But Grom did protest about killing me, so Sigorius sent that dagger that we're both in. And essentially, He was told that if I was stabbed with it, my soul would be able to be transferred to another body, and that my current royal-blooded body would be useful in bringing him to the material plane.
He's trying to kill two birds with one stone, it sounds like. So, summon him, but then killing you, taking the blood, but then bringing you back, supposedly, in another body, right?
Correct, except for it's been, well, I don't know how long it's been, honestly, but it's been quite some time that I've been trapped in here, and at this point I don't believe that I'll be getting out, which is quite unfortunate, but it is how it is.
Well, I guess I'm in the same boat as you.
Correct, except for now your friends are in possession of the dagger. And hopefully, from what we saw, they are also in possession of your body, although that fireball looked quite nasty.
Oh. Really?
Yes. So I guess to put it all into perspective, Grom was working with Al-Ramal and Zam, and they led to my downfall. And they also are the reason, those three, that trio of orcs, is the reason that Sigorius is now on the material plane. And he had plenty of time to be thinking of other ways to bring other demon lords to fruition. One of which is your mother.
Hold on, what?
Yes, I hate to be the one to tell you, but I saw what Sigorius was doing to your mother. That sickness was all a facade. This part is probably going to be a little hard to consume, but he was injecting his own blood, his own demon lord blood into your mother for quite some time, a matter of weeks. Ever since he was brought in, he knew that if he could take control of the royal family of Zeridel, that he would be able to take the whole country. What better way than taking your mother, who does not have royal blood, and injecting her with demon blood? And if things did not go the way he wanted them to, all he needed was some sort of royal blood, which he had mine, but even better if he had yours or your father's or any of your siblings. Once injected, well, he looks up towards the abyss and he sort of, he's able to flash a picture of Mirrodin. Like, you see Mirrodin currently riding on the shoulder of Lacan as they're riding out of town, and he looks up in the sky and you see Sigorius, but then you see a Luxodon with wings casting fireball, and she looks oddly like your mother.
So no, this can't be right. Like, she was being healed, I thought, or at least protected. This doesn't. so so Rakim he stands up and he starts pacing back and forth and starts laughing, but like for all the wrong reasons, and
Yeah.
you can see him starting to cry as well. Like, this was supposed to prevent all of that. Like, I can't.
Unfortunately, Zuka, it seems that your friends interjecting in between what Sigorius wanted has led to this whole thing. The fact that Sigorius didn't get your body, nor did he get the soul that he wanted, and he also didn't get to see Grom die, has led him to play this card of manipulating the royal family.
His ace in the hole. Oh my god.
As Mirrodin's vision shifts, he's leaving sort of the gate, and he can see Abel now riding with a horse with two Luxodon children in his arms, not moving. Oh dear.
And I know who they are, right?
Yep. They're your brother and sister.
I'm now on my knees. No, this can't be happening. This is this is literally all my fault. This is How are you doing this? How are you showing me this? This doesn't make any.
I've been in here for quite a while, and I have understood how this place kind of works. We may be trapped inside of this shell, inside of this dagger, but we still are able to see outside of it if we put our minds to it. The power of the soul is quite the value of a soul is quite powerful, as you can tell. And we're able to use this sort of divine power in order to see through or see into the outside world.
I can't believe this.
It is hard to swallow. I too was pretty much sidestruck at what Segorius was capable of when it comes to corrupting others. He took my son from me, and I would love nothing more than to see him taken down. But unfortunately, I can't do that from here.
There's nothing we can do now that we're stuck in here.
That is correct. We are essentially powerless. But, and you can see your group, like almost like a big screen, like projection. You see them riding towards the city that has all the ships and stuff that come into Zerodel.
Yeah.
I have big hopes that your friends will find a way to bring you back. And in doing so, now you have this information. You might be able to lead others into destroying not only Sorgorius, but the other demon lords that are currently ridding the world with their filth.
Yeah, there's already 2 of them. Or 3 that we know of. Well, 4 now that I think about it. There's already 4 that we know of.
Correct. I've not really had much of a chance to see what Segorius' plans are. He makes sure that this dagger is covered up at all times in his possession, and I think he knows that the soul is able to peer outside of the dagger. He's quite smart, quite crafty. It's going to take a lot to take him down.
Trust I know. His reach is so deep, he knew all of our moves. He was keeping close tabs on me.
He
Even when I
does
thought I
have
had
powerful magic, so yes, I believe he was able to see through what you were doing while he was scrying on you.
Yeah. Well, I hope there's something. If I get out of here, if I'm able to, you may just have your chance of seeing your son.
Maybe, in as much as I would prefer him not to die, I feel that that is the fate that he has caused himself. But I guess we shall see. Life is full of surprises. So with that, he goes on to talk to you every now and then, but it almost seems like an eternity you've been trapped here. You look every now and then through the eyes of the dagger, and you end up seeing your party go to Inniscraft with it. You guys can see that the dagger has been handed over to her. You don't know anything about this Inniscraft. You don't know who she is, but you start to see the ritual that she starts to do on this dagger to try to bring about your soul. She has many stacks of books. She produces many different potions that she coats the dagger with, but to no avail. And it takes the better part of a week, well, 7 days, for her to finally think that she's cracked the code, and she goes away for a little while. But then she comes back, and you can see your body with Dromdal Ray, and she sits you down, and she starts to chant and starts to cast some sort of spell. And it takes the better part of like 5 hours before she finishes. She takes the dagger, and at this part, Grodgal goes, "It seems they've cracked the code. Well, it's been quite wonderful getting to meet you, Zuka. Or should I say Prince Rakim. I really hope that you can figure it all out and that, perhaps maybe one day we'll meet again. As friends."
As friends. I,
Well, I harbor no ill will to the Luxodons. I understand exactly why they've done what they've done for these past 1,000 years. Orcs are really hard to parley with.
hmm.
I harbor no ill will against uh, the Luxodon people. And perhaps if I'm able to get a new body of sorts, maybe I can help bring us all back together. But that is yet to be seen.
Huh. Well, I'm sure if they help me, they wouldn't mind helping you. I'll see to it that something happens, or if I can find something out. I so I want to go up to him and give him that like brotherly forearm handshake.
Okay. So as you do that, and he looks up, and you notice Innis Craft plunges the dagger into Zuka's chest. "Farewell, Rakim." And you watch as you're being pulled away from him, and all of a sudden, from the center of your vision, it starts to brighten up with light, the surroundings of where Zuka's body is currently at. And then all of a sudden, you're back, and you start to look around, you shake your head, and you look, and you can feel your fingers, you can feel the faint breeze as the door or the window is open. You can smell pastries that are being cooked. And in front of you, you see this old woman with a dagger in your chest. "Well, did it work? Zuka!" And she smacks your face a little bit, and you start to blink.
So I'm dazed, and I also want to scream like really loud, like I felt like I felt being stabbed, like ah, like just going crazy.
"Ah!" And she takes the dagger out, and you like start screaming again, and it starts to bleed. And she casts a spell, and the wound is sealed. "Well," droned Alray, "looks like it worked." "Or at least something worked. What is your name, Luxodon?"
Rakim.
Hmm. Very curious. It did work. Perfect. She takes the dagger, and she stows it into her pocket. And Drumdal Ray comes up into your line of sight now, and he goes, "Is that really you, Prince Rakim?"
I mean, I start looking around at myself, like touching myself, like not like that, but like
Yeah.
just feeling, trying to see. As far as I know, I think it is Master.
Yes, that is Rakim, all right. Glad to have you back. And he holds out a hand to sort of help stand you up.
I reach out and take his hand, stand up, look at the old lady that helped me. Ma'am, I have no idea what you. Now I remember every out of character. I remember everything we talked about, right?
Yes, you remember everything that you talked about with Grodgal.
And also I saw what happened, right?
Yep, you know exactly what, or at least you know the big pieces of what happened in Cyrodiil. You know that Sigorius was outraged by the actions of Mirrodin. You know that the palace was under attack by Sigorius and a new demon lord that looked like your mother. You know that your brother and sister are dead, and that's about it. You don't know the well-being of your empire as a whole. You do not know the well-being of your current or of your father, and you don't know the well-being, or no, you know Abel is with the group because you saw all that stuff happen. So essentially, from the time that the party got onto the boat and headed back to the City of Guilds to now, you know everything that they did while in possession of that dagger.
Okay. Oh my god, lady. So I go up to the old lady and I give her a big hug and
What the heck is this? Paws
I
off!
can't I can't thank you enough. And then I like hug her and wrap my trunk around her and everything.
This is infuriating. I suggest you let go of me before I put you back in that dagger.
I let go of her immediately. I'm sorry, ma'am. I I didn't know. I'm just a little bit excited.
Gratitude is appreciated, but I'm not one for hugs. I do not like being touched, especially by those that I do not know. But your gratitude is, yes, you're welcome. Now, Drumdalray, go fetch that Abel boy. He owes me a portion of his soul.
Hold on, what?
You
I
do
look
not
at.
think that I did this for free?
Hold on. Are we not in the capital, or in the city of?
We are in the City of Guilds, and yes, this location is on the outskirts of the city wall, known as Holly Oak. These maidens have actually been a source of protection for the city for who knows how long. But unfortunately, it's quite troublesome dealing with them. And she kind of gives a snake eye at Drumdal Ray as he's got his arms crossed, sort of like, talking shit, but, also praising her power. And she looks around, or looks from you to him and goes, in all honesty, if you wish to talk, I have other things that I must be doing. Make sure that that Able boy gets to me as soon as possible so we can complete our deal. Otherwise, now that you're back in your body, I suggest you go and use it. Shoo! Drumdal
Um,
Ray nods his head. Very well, Innis. And he
out
starts
of
to walk out.
character. Out of character. This lady does not look familiar to Zuka.
No, you've never seen her before.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I don't think you as a player have ever seen her before either.
Yeah, I was just making sure. Um,
Martin and Jeff have seen her before. But that's a story for another day.
oh, are you ending it right here?
No. We
Okay.
still got a little bit to go.
Okay. So are we walking out?
Correct. And as you're walking out, Drumdal Ray has a cart, and he says, I will take you back to your guild hall if that is where you wish. I have sent for Ceres to meet us there, but if there's anything that you wish to go and do beforehand, we can go and do it on the way. Otherwise, we have a few topics I wish to discuss.
Out of character. Does this area that we're in look familiar?
The only reason it looks familiar is because you saw it when your group brought the dagger to Inniscraft, and
Okay.
it is like the main exit that you guys have used anytime you've gone south to do some missions and stuff like that. So this was you end up
Okay.
being on the road that you went to go and take care of the ogres and take care of the gnolls and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a familiar location.
And do I have my gear on me?
Yes, now you have all your stuff.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
seem a little bit on edge there, Rakim. Is everything okay? As you guys hop into the cart and it starts making its way.
I mean, I think I'm okay. I mean, I can't believe that I'm back. I'm back, but I'm worried now. I have a lot that I have to do, but Abel, like what happened?
From what I understand, is your friends decided, after dealing with Innis Craft, that they were going to go and try to fix things with the Demon Lords and with your friends Cyrene and Lacan. They went northwest to the Sladora Empire and to a location of neutrality known as the Temple of the Lightbringer. Have you ever heard of them?
I don't think I have. Out of character.
I can
I
roll
don't
you
think.
a. I'll roll you a history check to see, but I don't
Okay.
think you have either.
I mean, as a player, I know because
Yeah.
I was there
Yeah,
with
you have
Abel.
no
But
idea. You rolled a 5.
all right.
The Lightbringers are a group. Well, the Lightbringers are, yes, a collective of gods or god worshippers that all have something to do with the domain of light. They are seen as this material or as this plane's protector. And the fact that demon lords are starting to creep in means, more than likely, that something's happened to them. The City of Guilds, the Peacekeepers Guilds, has sent our strongest group to go and investigate, but that was almost a month ago. We have not been able to make contact with them. We have no evidence of them being alive or dead. Currently, they are MIA. So, I believe Saris told your friends about this, saying that there could be potential leads at the Temple of the Lightbringer, but so far, nothing has come up. In fact, I've been meaning to ask Saris if he's checked in with your group to see their progress. It has been about eight days since they left, so I'm hoping we can get some answers.
Oh wow.
You were trapped in that dagger for quite some time. How do you feel?
I mean, I feel okay. I mean, there's a lot that I feel like I got to do, and then at the same time, I want to just curl up in a ball and just forget it all. I've seen what happened.
Whatever do you mean? What has happened?
I go ahead and inform him of. I don't. Yeah, I don't think was he there when they explained the events of what happened in.
No, because they explained it to Saris, but they didn't. They explained some of the things to Drumdal Ray, like Abel was like, yeah, he stabbed himself with this dagger, and then his soul got sucked out, and he's like, oh shit. So he knows a little bit, like bits and pieces, but he doesn't know the whole story of y'all's adventure in Cyrodiil.
Okay, I go ahead and inform him of everything because I trust.
Yeah. Okay. So he kind of, that is quite a lot. Quite a lot indeed. It seems that these demon lords, from what your friends were saying, is they're coming to the material plane to battle it out to see who is the next demon prince. I'll be honest, I've never researched or heard anything about this sort of tradition that these brutes do. So maybe this is destiny, the destiny of the material plane, to serve as a battleground for those that are far more powerful than us, so that they can settle their scores.
Master, are you okay with this? Cause
Not at all. I'll be honest, I have my own secrets at hand. I have my own things that I wish to accomplish in my life that are for whatever I believe, the benefit of our people. I do not wish to see it all just go crumbled to ashes so that some demon can go back to its own home and claim itself to be a prince. That to me is, well, it's not good form.
I got you. I'm just so confused on what to do. I have so much that I need to do. I gotta get back to my and and also, are we just leaving that dagger with him?
Unfortunately, your friends made a deal with Innis Craft that once she completes what she was doing to bring you back, that she got to keep the dagger, and she was going to be given a portion of your friend Abel's soul. I tried to talk him out of it, but he seemed pretty content with giving up a portion of him to save you. I'm not sure if he's just stupid, or if he's just that loyal. Regardless, I would keep him around as long as you can, for loyalty like that is unheard of.
Yeah, that's and I start to smirk a little bit. I was like, yeah, that's Abel. But that's at such a high price, I can never repay him for that. I would have
I'm
to talk
sure
to him
you'll
more
think
about
of
it.
something.
And then on top of that, with demon lords just roaming around, would it be safe to entrust him with that? I mean, I know it's part of a deal, but that's I mean, at any point in time, Sicorius could just pop up and grab it.
You would think so, but Innis Craft has been doing this sort of dealings for many, many decades, probably centuries, or if not millennia. She is a very, very old power. I don't trust her one bit, but I know that she has everything planned out. And I do not believe that she'll use that dagger against the City of Guilds, but I know she won't use it for any good purposes either. Sigorius will probably know of some sort of presence like that in the City of Guilds. At least that's what I hope. I hope that all the demon lords understand. Which, in all honesty, it's quite strange that there's all these powerful entities in this world, and yet all the empires remain standing. It's as if they're waiting for some moment, some opportunity, before they make their presence fully known. Although there have been a lot of refugees coming through from other empires, as you start getting towards one of the districts in town, Zuka starts looking out the window and you see a lot of temporary houses and tents and stuff that people are living in. You see a bunch of soup kitchens and things like that. You see a bunch of people being tended for wounds and things like that as well. The demon lords themselves have not been attacking, but their followers sure have. It's almost as if they're all trying to collect as many sacrifices or as many... I honestly don't know what they're doing, but all the smaller villages and towns are a target. And most of these come from other empires. The Ciavitas, the Guista, Yodian, Sladora even. Dark times are upon us, Rakim.
Yeah. Takes deep breath. I thought we were supposed to be preventing stuff like this, but it just seems like ever since we've been in, or official members, things have just been going downhill.
I don't know if there's any correlation to that or if it's just pure coincidence, but maybe. I highly doubt it, though. That just sounds... Why would they be waiting for a random group to be put together before they started putting their plans in motion. It makes no sense. Speaking of no sense, I visited that woman of the wood, the healer of the wood, rather, that you wanted me to follow up on, the one that made that special poison.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
Well, she wanted my soul for it, which seems to be in high demand recently. He kind of chuckles a little bit. But I did not give it to her, but I was able to find a portion of the ingredients that she uses to make it, and I have made a few vials myself. I've not tested them, but they share the same physical properties as the poison that you had brought me. My intentions are to give you half of what I have created, hoping that maybe you can create more, because if they were able to take down an arcane user, from what I've heard, Sagorius is just that. This could be a key component to taking him down. And I'm almost certain that the rest of the demon lords also are able to manipulate the arcane in some way, shape, or form.
And we could use this to get the advantage.
Exactly. The only thing is that the main ingredient is thought to be extinct. And I was able to trade for some of that Healer of the Woods stock, but she had told me, and I was able to confirm, that she has no more. Which makes it a little problematic, as you can see. Obviously, we have a limited supply. I feel that this has enough dosage, enough power to probably be used 6 times total. Because a Demon Lord is obviously going to require a little bit more.
I get that. So what is this ingredient?
He starts to scratch his head and he goes, I suppose there's no real harm in telling you. The ingredient is known as Saloon's Tear. It is a dark blue flower, and it's thought to have been extinct after the goddess Saloon was killed. And the funny part is, she was killed by a demon lord.
I wonder why. It's, is this woman that you speak of? Was she powerful? She's had the.
Well, she was a goddess after all, so I would assume so. That leads me to believe that this saloon, that this whole debacle between the demon lords has obviously come up in the past, more than likely. And the fact that they went through such probably perilous events in order to defeat this goddess, they're trying to make sure that they're able to do whatever it is they wish without any sort of consequences, without anything being in their way. So yes, I believe this all essentially correlates with each other. But there should be other ways of defeating these demon lords, which is why your friends have been going to great lengths to try to find them. That is why they're heading to the Lightbringer's temple as we speak, if they're not already there.
I may need to hurry up and catch up with them. Let me ask you this: do we have any archives or anything about this goddess?
I'm sure that possibly we do. If you wish to meet up with your friends, I will conduct my research to try to find stuff about her. Unless you wish to do it yourself, but that could take some time. The archives are grand and they are old.
I mean, if it's not intruding, Master, that would that
Not
would
at
be
all.
awesome.
Not at all. And there's another thing I've been wishing to bring up with you. Something that I need to make sure does not leave this cot.
Mm.
As I told you before, I have my own secrets, my own methods of doing things that some may not see the way that I do and might think that it is not the best form. But I wanted to extend an invitation to you, for you have been my most prized student ever since I became the teacher of alchemy for the Peacekeepers Guild. Have you heard of the Emerald Order?
No, no, Master, I don't believe so. Can I roll
Perfect.
history?
You would not know at all.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. That means we're doing something right, and I intend to keep it going right. The Emerald Order is a group of alchemists, researchers essentially, and our whole objective is to find the perfect alchemical potion. The thing is, it's not easy to go about. There have been rumors circulating the Emerald Order since its inception of an artifact separated into 8 pieces, 8 separate tablets known as the Emerald Tablets. These tablets contain an ancient formula that, once perfected, could lead to a multitude of things for the alchemical organization. We could potentially cure all diseases known to man. We could cure old aging, essentially giving us the same lifespan as that of the elves or even gods themselves. We could defeat our own mortality. We'd be able to take substances and turn them into other things that we wish, which would essentially nullify all senses of currency, which would bring everyone to the same level playing field. Corruption would be no more. These are the sort of things that the Emerald Order wishes to undergo and correct. For I'm sure you've probably seen a little taste of it being royalty yourself, but sometimes those that are in power do not do it for the people that they should be serving. The Emerald Order wishes to negate all of that. And if you would, I would like you to become a member. You would be sworn to secrecy, never to tell a soul about the Emerald Order, but we would be able to give you more knowledge towards your alchemical findings. We would be able to lead you on the right track, and if you prove yourself to us, once we find these Emerald Tablets, we will allow you to learn from them with us. And I want to make sure this is understood. I do not just ask anybody to join us. I am putting quite a lot of faith in you right now, Rakim, by just letting you in on what I've been up to. Can I trust you?
Oh, snap. Yes, Master, you can.
And finally, do you wish to join us in our quest to find these Emerald Tablets?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'll do it. If you don't mind having it.
He takes out a vial from his pocket, and it's this small spherical flask with this greenish liquid. He uncorks it and he takes a sip of it, sloshes it around and swallows, and then he hands it to you. If you wish to join us, then please drink.
I take it and drink it.
Okay. So as you drink it, it's got this really fruity taste to it, but then it turns into this horrible, disgusting, like worse than cough syrup taste, and you start to cough. And he kind of chuckles a little bit and he goes, Now, now, now. The worst part is over. That, in times of need, if you ever need to prove yourself as part of the Emerald Order, let whoever's asking take a sample of your blood and they'll know soon enough that you are part of our organization. I will not go into the greater details about it here, but your blood is soon will start to somewhat change. Not in color, but your very DNA code, or genetic code rather, will change enough to where any normal person looking at it will just assume it's blood. But a member of the Emerald Order will know that you're one of us, and you will be granted access to many, many secrets of this world. And again, do not go blabbing this to your friends ever. They are not to know what you are looking for. If you do find it, do your best to keep tabs on it. If they end up giving it to someone else, just inform me where it is, and I'll take care of the rest. So far, in our possession, we have 2 of these tablets. And I heard that a third one was discovered sometime during the summoning of Dagon. But keep your eyes out, Zuka.
For sure, Master. I won't let you down.
And with that, you guys pull up to the guild hall, and Saris is outside waiting. Ah, Saris has always been a very punctual man, and that's something I can definitely appreciate about him. He goes ahead and opens the door. After you, my student.
Thanks. I guess I walk in. Are we in the guild hall? You said.
No, you guys are exiting the cart, and he's
Okay.
outside of the guild hall. So
Oh, okay. So I walk up. I walk up to Saris and I'm just like, Saris, it's good to see you. And I go in for
likewise,
a handshake.
Rakim. And he shakes your hand back. I was told of the unfortunate dealings within your empire, and honestly, the fact that you're standing here in front of me shows me that there are strange things at work. I cannot say how exciting, how fortunate it is to have you back with us, Zuka.
You have no idea. There's a lot that we have to do, but I just appreciate being part of this a member of the City of Guilds.
And we appreciate you. You all have done quite good things, even though it may not seem so. The guild masters are all very, very thrilled with your work, as your group has been doing quite wonderfully since you all have joined. I know it's only been about a month or so since you all became full-fledged peacekeepers, but you're really sticking it to the world.
Hey.
But all things do come to an end, and he kind of starts to shift in his pocket, and he pulls out 2 envelopes and hands them to you. One of these is for you, and the other is to Abel. But I do not know where Abel is.
If I'm not mistaken, he is with the rest of the group.
Well, that's the thing. They left about 8 days ago, and I've been unable to contact any of them with my spells. In fact,
Oh,
the ship that they left on has revisited the city of Giltaba and said that they went on some sort of treasure hunt and never came back to the surface. They sent a group
what?
to find them. There was no trace. As if they vanished.
Um, Rakim's heart starts to sink. You, you gotta be kidding. Like a treasure hunt, you said? I thought they were heading to another empire. What happened?
These are all questions that I asked Captain Chuck Johnson. He told me as much as he would. He said that the party approached him and said that they've heard of some sort of fantastic treasure, and they bribed him into going to the location. And when they did, they dove down, but they never came back. They waited for hours before finally sending someone to go look for them, and when they went underwater, there was no trace.
That, oh, no trace, like just up and gone. Like that doesn't
Correct.
make any sense. I don't. Where is this guy? I can't accept that. That's crazy. And also, what are these letters?
Uh, well, one of them is to you and the other's to Abel. Obviously, if you wish to open both of them, feel free. I do not care.
No, that's not my business. But I do open mines though.
Okay, so you open your letter, and it essentially goes. I don't have like a full script of what it says, but the gist of it is your father is reaching out to you. He says that if you're reading this letter, hopefully that means that you're back in your normal body and you're alive and well, and he's very happy about that. Then he goes on to tell you about the unfortunate events that have befallen your country. He tells you how he watched your mother transform into a demon lord before his eyes. He tells you that the palace was destroyed, utterly destroyed, and that your brother and sister were killed. He says that he's doing okay. Some days are easier than others, but he doesn't know how much longer he can keep ruling the Cyrodiil Empire up, and requests that you come back as soon as possible. He feels that you're ready to take on the mantle of the king. He says if you do not wish to start running the kingdom, you do not have to. He will understand, but then it will go to a new family.
A new family? What? Okay. Um.
And essentially, the reason it would go to a new family is because you're the only one, as of this moment,
Yeah.
that can take the throne.
Yeah. That doesn't make any. I don't. Oh man. So like, okay, out of character, would my, cause I don't, Zuka, Rakim saw what happened, right? Like he
Yeah,
saw what happened,
yeah.
and he remembers what happened. So my thing is, because I know how I feel as a player. I feel like he would catch on to this too, or maybe we're both just overthinking it. To where if I saw what happened, how would he have known that this is what they were doing with my body and I'm going back? I'm trying to come back into it.
Who, your father?
Yeah, because he wouldn't have had no idea about it.
I believe that you
Because
would
like if I'm
surmise
not,
that, because you said Abel sent a message to King Amon during the downtime, didn't you? Or did I misread that or mishear that? Because that's what
Did
I'm
I?
going off of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
No, no,
Abel
no,
sent
no, no,
a.
no, no. I did do that, but and Abel would have told him that in the letter. Never mind.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that's what I was
Okay.
going with. Yeah.
Okay. Damn it. Then I can't.
Your dad's
Damn
not evil.
it. Damn it. All right, that's fine. No, cause like I know what happened as Abel, and I know what happened, but I forgot that I sent him a letter. But why would he send him a letter? Oh, but this is before that happened too, though.
Correct.
Before,
Yeah, this is before they left for their
yeah,
Temple of
and
the
then
Lightbringer. Yep.
Abel heard King Amon apparently in the background getting tortured. Okay, never mind. All right, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Goddamn, Sigorius. Okay, so I'm devastated by the letter then.
Okay. Saris and Dromdal Ray both kind of try to console you, and they're like, um, I understand that this is really hard for you, Prince Rakim. And in times like these, I do think it best to try to fix things with your family if you're able. I I can do what I need to here to essentially allow you to leave the Peacekeepers Guild if that is what you wish. If you need to go home and write things, and then if you wish to ever come back, you can come and see me and I'll make sure that you are reinstated as a full-fledged Peacekeeper. There's not many times that we let a Peacekeeper go, but we do have an obligation to each of the empires, and since you are of royalty, and from what I've heard, you are the next in line for your throne and the only one that can take the throne of the Cyrodiil Empire. If you must leave for any reason, just let me know.
Thank you. I'll be sure to let you know. But right now, before I do anything, um, I gotta go get Abel. I gotta let him know what's going on.
He scratches his head again and goes, like I said, it's been a matter of days and we've not any trace of them.
Ah, I'm not falling for it. We need to talk to that guy and see and I need to hear what he said that happened, because that's crazy.
Very well. Jerome Dalray, if you wish to join us, you may. And he goes, oh, no. This is all guild business with you and your group. I will allow you all to go. Prince Rakim, it has been wonderful talking to you, and I am so glad you have made it back to us. If you need anything, feel free to come by my lab, otherwise I have work that must be done. You gentlemen have yourselves a wonderful day, and he kind of gives you a bow, and Saris bows back.
Thanks, Master. And I do the same.
Okay. And then Saris grabs. He has a horse of his own, and there's another one somewhere that he grabs for you, and you guys ride off to the docks where you should find Chuck Johnson. But before we get to that, I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Hey, Brady.
What's up?
Hey, I gotta go drop something off real quick. I shouldn't be no more than like 10 minutes.
Okay.
10,
Yeah,
15
if you want to
minutes,
go
if that's
do that
okay.
real quick, then I'll just wait here.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, I'll be right back.
Cool. All right, now we're back. And since Gerald had to go real quick, I guess I will. I see you, Reed. Getting that luscious backstory. But while he's gone, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, and then I'll start it back up, and then we'll finish off this little thingy. So we'll be back after these messages. Actually, can I do that?
You're muted, by the way.
How's it going, Brady?
Not bad. Just
shooting things. It's fine.
oh, your stream's not muted, by the way. Correct. I can hear myself. Well, my voice is going through.